Welcome to your winter solstice reading, and this is going to be for the season starting on December 21st, 21. So you have this 12, 21, 21 numbers going on here. You got the 12 and the 21, which is very much a mirrored effect. Plus 1 plus 2 is 3, and 2 plus 1 is 3. So you got a 3, and a 3. So 3 threes. Huge amount of creativity that's going to be coming around this winter solstice. So I'm excited to see what Spirit has to tell us about those 3 months. Also, of course, winter solstice is the beginning of Capricorn season. I will have a different video for Capricorn for that season coming up, so keep an eye out for that as well. But this reading is going to be a pick-a-bear reading, and so you're going to have a choice of 3 different bears, and you can choose as many as you want. You're going to have the brown bear, the black bear, and the polar bear. And I'll have timestamps for each one of those in the description box below if you want to jump ahead to the other bear. We're going to start, of course, with the brown bear. And we're going to be asking the question, what's going into hibernation? So we're going to just ask what is falling away, what is kind of shrinking in our life, at least for this 3-month period. And with that shrinking, with all this creativity going on, what is going to take its place as it shrinks? Because there's always a certain amount of energy in our lives, and as one changes, it makes room for something else. So I'm excited to jump right in, and like I said, we're going to start with Mr. Brown Bear first, and if you chose one of the other bears, just click on the timestamp below and you'll jump ahead. So let's get started. All right, all my Libras, if you chose reading number 1, which is the brown bear, then this is the reading for you. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Surrender Oracle, which is going to tell us what the Creator wants you to know, that what's going into hibernation during this winter solstice. And of course, we'll dig in more deeply with other cards as well, but this will be the start off right here. All right, Creator, so for our Libra brown bears, what would you like them to know about what's going into hibernation? Okay, there we go. And you have surrender your attachment to results. Let's see that there. Try not to get the glare in there. There we go. And then I'll read the bottom here too. And it says, the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results, because holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So yeah, definitely what's falling away during this winter solstice, what's going into hibernation, is your attachment to results. So more of a go with the flow, knowing what you want, but not looking at how or when it'll happen. You're just going to be enjoying the process of the growth of the journey, right? Of the steps heading toward wherever it's going to end, right? And we're also going to pull some cards here from the Animal Spirit deck, or at least one card, and we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this hibernation for the winter solstice. All right, what else would you like our brown bear? Okay. I was going to say brown bear of the Libra, but they're all boom, Cobra. Cobra! Beautiful fiery energy there. So let's take a look here and we'll see from the book what message comes with this Cobra here. And I apologize. They are not in alphabetical order, but it popped up here. So this is about pausing, waiting, and the inner teacher. So definitely about the timing and waiting for results, right? So the Cobra represents a teacher or a spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you're in balance with this energy, then you're a student of life. You're humble, you're wise. When you're out of balance with this energy, then you're a know-it-all and you're egocentric. So to bring this energy into balance, take a class, study, look into learning something. And I love just this balance here that's coming in, because this is about allowing yourself to learn, allowing things to unfold. This is that pausing. This is, not rush, trying to get to an end result. So the teacher is time, I really feel, which I know we hate that, right? We hate that word, patience. It's kind of a cuss word sometimes, but it is about being in the moment, not being in the future. Because if you are looking to the future for your happiness and your fulfillment, then you're never going to feel fulfilled, because you're always looking to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So a big, wonderful process, a big, wonderful journey that you're on. The teacher for this is to be here now and enjoying what is happening in this moment. We're going to pull some more cards, of course. We'll see what else is going on here. These are the Ancestor Tarot. And we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know. Let's see what else is going into hibernation, or more about this surrendering the results and this wonderful teacher of time. All right. So for our brown bear, actually, I think that's going to be it right there, and that one there. So you have a couple of cards there. Yeah, that's going to be it. So you've got the Ace of Sacred Circles, which would be the Ace of Pentacles in other, or Ace of Coins in other decks. So that is a beautiful card there. We'll just move these over a little bit. And then you also have the Hermit. So perfect. So the Ace of Pentacles here is all about being gifted new opportunities in your external world. And that is beautiful, and it really fits into here, because when you let go of the hows and the whens, right, when you let go of the attachment to the results, then your whole world just blows wide open in the external world. Because if you're saying this is how it has to happen and this is when it needs to happen, then it's very restrictive, and you may not see all these other opportunities that are outside of that. But if you just let that go and be in the moment, then you can see a lot more opportunities, a lot more things happening. And I love that you have in these cards here, you've got the star, the star here and the star here, which is actually you. This is your higher self. This is the connection to the other realm, your powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit self made of unconditional love. And the Hermit is all about going inside and finding your way along the times. And, even though it might seem like you're in darkness there, that inner light that you're finding is this journey, is this path. And the Hermit really goes inward and investigates itself. It understands and gains wisdom about higher truths from your higher self, and allows you to see things. It also allows you to trust that life is unfolding for you. Life isn't happening to you. So if there's delays, what appear to be delays to you is actually arriving exactly on time. So it allows you to see things from that different perspective, from this higher perspective. So I love how this is unfolding for you, because that means you're not, being drugged through I want to go faster, come on, and you're being drugged through this winter solstice. No, this is this fire inside is good, because it allows you to see things differently, kind of like this is the teacher that you're looking for is your higher self and time, but this awareness around bigger things, the higher things, allows you to enjoy the process, not be tortured through it. So we're also going to dig more deeply here with these Tarot of Dreams. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at each of the 3 months of the winter solstice, which will be 12/21 to 1/21, and then 1/21 to 2/21, and 2/21 to 3/21, which will bring you up to the spring equinox. So one more time here. All right, so for 12/21 to 1/21, what do you want our brown bears to know of Libra? Oh my goodness, so you've got like 5 cards here just to start off, which is not surprising. You like the balance, but you also like a lot of information. Libras are very much the seekers of truth. So you have a lot of information coming your first month, which brings us then into 1/21 to 2/21. So what do you want our... Okay. We'll just do no peeking. I know, you already saw that. That's all right. All these are flipping over, but I want to keep them like that to keep me from being distracted. Okay, and that's it for that. So, and then 2/21 to 3/21. So as you're getting ready to come into spring and come out of hibernation, what do you want them to know? What Libra brown bears? Okay. And then you have 2 for overall here. Okay, so some good information coming in here. Excuse me. Actually, I'm going to put these over here because you got a lot of here that you're coming into. Okay, perfect. So you have the 2 of Cups here. Cups are your emotions. The 2 of Cups, you know, it's a general reading, so it could be important relationships coming in, like this teacher that's coming in. It could be a physical manifestation of a teacher, either, and it may not be that you're like meeting them in person. You could even meet them online, be studying from a book or something like that. But for me, the 2s of all the suits represent your higher self, you know. So one of these is your human side, your human character. The other is that, you know, I was talking about the star here, that powerful, supernaturally eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And this is that joining together of those energies. And so this beautiful awareness and connection to your higher self is going to be so important for this December 21st to January 21st. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Hanging man. In fact, I was thinking of the hangman when I was thinking of this hermit here about seeing things from a higher perspective, and this is what that's all about. You know, Odin, the father of the gods, according to the mythology, he hung himself from the tree of knowledge, sacrificed one of his eyes so that he could see all the knowledge of the other realm. And so I really feel like this stage, this stepping up and seeing things from this higher perspective is like this huge jump. I mean, both of these cards represent that for me. Yeah, because here's the 9 of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations, all the small t truths of the human ego side. And so this is kind of, you can see this like they're having a nightmare, or because it's called the nightmare card or the insomnia card. And it's because all these expectations, you're fearing not living up to those. And that will build into this attaching to results, because when you have all these supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos, you're very concerned about, is it unfolding exactly as it should, in the timing that it should? Because if it doesn't, then what does that mean about me? Does that mean I'm a failure? Does it mean I'm rejectable? Does that mean people are going to, despise me and reject me? No. And that's where all these nightmare, thoughts and feelings come in, because all these expectations are clawing at you. I mean, there's a scary claw. It's clawing at you, whispering to you, you're going to fail. People are going to hate you. And that's what you're facing here with surrendering the results instead. And lovely Queen of Coins. This will also be Queen of Pentacles. So definitely she's Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, all the queens of the minor arcana, in addition to this very earth energy, also brings in the water energy, which is that beautiful emotions connecting to the other side. So she's very in tune with her intuition and her gut as well. But this is about new birth, very much self-nurturing and making sure that you're taking care of you. So I love this in combination with all these other cards, because this does represent you letting go of these expectations, letting go of what other people will think, and think about what you want for a change, right? And with this connection to your higher self, with this Two of Cups and these cards, you really are seeing, going, you know what? All this pressure I have on myself to make sure things turn out a certain way isn't coming from really the outside. It's your perception that's coming from the outside, but you are the one that is making all this angst inside, all your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets of this, Nine of Swords, all those nightmares, all that insomnia you have, all that worry is coming from inside you. Because really, what if people rejected you? It's like everyone has coming out experiences in their life, whether it's your sexual preference or your desires in life. Like, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be an artist, or I don't want to, do that. I want this. I don't want that kind of wedding. I want this kind. Everyone has these points in their life where you're like, you know what? All this fear of the outside world, of what people will think, it's based on my thoughts and my beliefs on the inside. And I used to think, so what if, I came out as a tarot reader, or I came out as gay, or I came out in whatever way, right? If people didn't accept me, that's fine. With all the billions of people on the planet, there are going to be people that are going to relate to you and accept you to an extent, right? And I'm like, even if it's a village in China on the other side of the world, I will find my tribe. But worrying less about the they, because those that truly love you and are your friends, they will accept you as you are. They won't worry about it. And so, this fear of being rejected will show us those who are truly our friends and those who are not. And it does us a favor anyway, right? And then you have the Six of Cups. And Six of Cups is all about past memories and nostalgia, old emotions. It could also mean someone that was in your life before coming back in, especially with this Two of Cups here. For some of you, it could mean that an old friendship, old relationship, or an old family tie could be coming more present back into your life during this time too, and realize that they are your teacher. Regardless, they're going to be this mirror for you, because they're going to mirror back the emotions of how you feel about yourself during this time too. So, just be aware as this comes through, whether this end result is a relationship result, or a work result, or some sort of possession or body result, like a home purchase or vehicle purchase, or you're doing something for your body and your health, or your finances, whatever. Just know that this unfolding here is going to be your teacher. It's going to be showing you things. It's going to show you how you feel about yourself until you see it. So this is very much this awareness that's coming in from a higher perspective, a different perspective. And whatever circumstance or person's coming into your life, that is the teacher. It's the teaching moment. It's the mirror for you. So a lot of good ahas and reflections coming to you during this first month of 12/21 to 1/21, because the Six of Cups can also have you looking back on old experiences and old emotions. It's not necessarily the person coming back, but something is spawning you to look back on that. Which brings you into 1/21 to 2/21. This is the one we saw already, which was the King of Cups. Cups are emotions, and so definitely King Cobra coming in here. Beautiful, though, the King, all the kings of the minor arcana also bring in air energy. And so with the emotions comes this balance of also mind and heart. So this nice balance between the two. You can also look at this as the highest level of the emotions, which he has this Ace of Cups that he brings in, and that is the unconditional love of the creator of all things. So there's this awareness that's coming in of high emotions, of understanding your emotions. You know, the king's at the end of that suit, so he's mastered it. He's been through it. He's been through the emotional, you know, journey, and, you know, all those fun things. You know, Libra is air, so it's good about this nice balance that comes in between, you know, the emotion and the mind, knowing that if you're making decisions only based on your mind and logic, usually not going to turn out to your highest experience, as well as also making decisions strictly from emotions also does not. So there's this beautiful balance that's coming in with that. And then you have the moon. So beautiful energy coming in, definitely with this cups energy, with it being water, and then the moon being all about emotions and connection to the water as well. You are really, and I'm sorry, I got distracted with this bright shiny thing, looks like a mirror, really this reflection of these emotions coming in. So yeah, and I know it's like, oh God, no, and I don't want to feel all those emotions, but this is for you, not happening to you. So you're really getting in tune with who you are, what you're feeling, why you're feeling it. I mean, it's helping you make the progress. I mean, this hermit reflection is really so much involved here. Also, with this moon coming up, I would pay attention to the moon phases, the new moon and full moon especially, during this month of 121 to 221. I do put out new moon and full moon readings for each of the zodiac signs. So you might check into that during this month as well. And I'll talk more about that in after we finish this reading here, on how you can make sure you don't miss out on those. All right. And then you have the Five of Wands. Fives are all about transformation and understanding. It's like you're seeing things from a different perspective. The wands are your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your spiritual energy. It's very much this fire energy of the cobra too, which when you first see this is kind of what I see whenever I have the Five of Wands pop up, because I have this little kung fu movie that plays, and it's like all these individuals with their staves are having this battle, and so they're all whipping each other and bap, 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 you know, and hitting, making large sounds, hitting each other. And finally, it ends up where one of them is standing and the other four are laying down. And you thought, okay, you know, the war is over, this battle is over. And then they all start laughing. They all help each other up. They all, you know, walk arm in arm and arms around each other and laughing as they head off to the meal hall, and you realize, oh, this wasn't a battle. This wasn't them really trying to hurt each other. This is a Zen Buddhist monastery. And these were Zen Buddhist monks that were not trying to hurt each other, but they were helping each other develop their skills, and, you know, to hone their skills and make them able to protect themselves and just to become the best version of themselves. And that's what this is about. So this transformation of the energy of going, oh, I thought this was like attacking me, being like, oh, but this is a teacher and it's happening for me. And there's this beautiful message that comes with that. As you deal with all these emotions, you understand that some of these emotions that may be coming up from your past, you're understanding more and more that they were happening for you. And what did you learn from it? How much stronger are you because you went through it? What's the information and the knowledge that you gleaned from it? So you're really having this, you know, hermit experience and reflection of that during this time, which brings you into 221 to 321. And you have the World. So beautiful. This is the ending of major cycles and beginning of new. So I love this, kind of looks like a world here too. So you have this transformation in your outer world where previous ways of thinking and believing are transforming just your entire world. You see all the four elements here. So it's impacting you, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, if I could talk, and physically. So this beautiful transformation, ending of major cycles in your life and new beginnings. So like I said, it's worth it because this brings freedom and brings this newness. Yeah, wow. And you got the Tree of Life too. This is beautiful. This is only a card that is specific to this deck. It's based on the Kabbalah or the Kabbalah, depending on how you say it, depending on what tradition you're in. But this is our highest spiritual self. And these are all the paths on how we were able to come down to become this physical form of man and have our two sides, like this Two of Cups. You really see the two sides of yourself. You see that life is mapped for a reason, and that there is this structure to our experiences here. One of the things that this card brings up for me is something that I really learned from the Kabbalah. They showed that, like the human side of us, this, when way down here, number 10, has like 5 openings that come into our humanness, and they're not openings, they're more filters, because even though our brain has like millions and millions of bytes of information that come into it, it can only process 0.00000000006% of it. Very minute, minuscule amount of information that's coming in, and that's, our brain is taking in, actually gets processed. So our human side really doesn't see life clearly, and that's when we develop our sixth sense, and we're seeing things from that perspective. And that's what this higher perspective of the Hermit and the Hangman is all about, and the Two of Cups and the Moon is about seeing things from a different perspective outside of the human, realizing that the human really doesn't see things clearly, so don't trust what you think you see. Then you have the 10 of Wands. So 10 endings and new beginnings, this spiritual energy, this awareness. It's like all this energy that you've been feeling around, like this 9 of Swords, and attaching to all those external things, trying to make it happen, has been a burden. It's been making you feel heavy, 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 and you're ready to let that energy go. And during this month is when you do it. So you really do a very big energy purge of those energies that are no longer serving you, and you're realizing that you have so much more energy to invest toward what you do want. Living in the moment, focusing on this very next step, not worrying about, all this attachment to all the end results. Yeah, and you have the 3 of Cups. So celebration here. 2 messages come with this, actually probably 3. One is to celebrate and be grateful for what you do have going on in your life, not looking at it, like we said, about looking at the moment. The other thing is that the 3 of Cups show you that the external world, the things of the external world, don't fulfill you and make you feel whole and complete. Cups are your emotions. So those 3 cups are relationships, situations, and like body and possessions. And those things don't make you feel whole and complete. And when you realize that, you can celebrate and be grateful for what is, because when you fill up with this, like this 2 of Cups, when you're filling up with that unconditional love from the outside, you are filling up where you don't need external stuff to make you happy, because expectations on the outside world equal disappointment. So when you're living for the outside world to fulfill you, you're always living with this gap between you and happiness, always looking for results in the future, right? But when you find it within yourself, then anything else that happens on the outside world is extra and above and beyond. So it's awesomeness. This also represents for me a special meaning of spirit guides. It has to do with a reading that I had a few years ago. So whenever this comes across, it's always spirit guides and our support posse of beings of unconditional love and light on the other side saying, hey, we're here. here supporting you, so you're not alone. So, of course, this is a general reading. So whatever resonated out of those 3 messages for you, take that and then leave the rest for everyone else. And then overall, for this whole 3-month period, you got the King of Swords. So you had the King of Cups, and then you have the King of Swords, King of the Air. Libras, you're all about the air. So this is representing you, and this sword of truth, the Ace of Swords that the King yields, allows you to cut away those thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve you. So as you're going throughout this, 3-month period, you are definitely cutting away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. Same with this King of Cups. You're cutting away those emotions that no longer serve you. So this is definitely you mastering your journey, and it's happening on purpose for a purpose. So just know that as well. Okay, there you go. Ace of Cups. So like we're talking about, the Ace of Cups is all about finding this chalice, finding this Holy Grail. It's full of the living waters. It's full of the essence of our Creator, which is unconditional love. And when you find that, then you find out what you've been searching for all along. It's this beautiful, delicious, sweet waters compared to the 3 of Cups of the outside world, which are bitter and sour because they're not fulfilling. They disappoint us. And so this journey of mind and heart is really what this whole piece is for, finding your fulfillment in the moment and not looking so much for the future. We're going to pull one last card here from this Angels and Ancestors Oracle. We'll just see what the final message that the Creator has for all of you brown bear of the Libra. Right, one more time. All right, Creator, what's your final message for Libra brown bears, please? Okay. Wow, I feel like you have 3 here. And we're saving that for last. So this one here, you have the Shapeshifter. Love that. And this says transform and unveil your gifts. And then you also have the Shaolin Master, like we looked at with this 5 of Wands, right? And it says be graceful in movement and action. And then the final one here is your guardian angel. You are not alone. So really, I feel like this, these are like reiterating a lot we talked about. First of all, the guardian angel, you are not alone. They're letting you know during this process, look for signs, look for messages, because they definitely are with you through this entire process. And if you're unsure of something, use this connection. You have the 2 of Cups, you have the Moon, you have the 3 of Cups. Each of the months, you have these indicators of Spirit being with you, of those beings of unconditional love and light being with you. So just know you're never alone through this process. In this whole shape-shifting and transformation, as well as this graceful in movement and action, it's really this beautiful just awareness and transformation of your thoughts and beliefs. And just know that you don't have to, I'm sorry, I keep interrupting myself, this grace of movement and action. It's like you don't have to make this aggressive approach to things. Think of a Shaolin master and how, they do the movements and how it's smooth and, it's very, it's almost a dance that you're doing. And that's the way this unfolds. You don't have to make it so task-oriented. Allow this shape shift to happen. Allow yourself to transform beautifully. It takes time for a butterfly to become a butterfly from a caterpillar. It comes into this cocoon type of situation here and it transforms. It lets some of its self dematerialize, and it reinvents itself from something that was only moving along the ground to something that's beautiful and fluttering, something that was consuming of plants and flowers and all that, to something that helps I don't say fertilize, but it helps pollinate. It takes pollen from one plant to another, helps them, so it becomes something of destruction and consumption to something that's beautiful and flies in the air, right? And helps things produce, helps things be fruitful and multiply. So I love this transformation that's happening for you during this period here. I don't have anything else to add, so I'm going to leave it at that. I do want to let you know, like I mentioned, I do a variety of other readings besides these throughout the month, including like a monthly reading for each zodiac sign. I do like weekly updates as far as the energies for water signs, air signs, and the different elements, and new moon and full moon readings, and some other readings too. So if you don't want to miss out on those and you want to get notified as soon as they come out, if you haven't done so already, of course, click the subscribe button down below, and that's going to make this notification bell pop up. And once you click on that, then it'll take you into your notifications, and you can select to be notified right away, and then you don't miss out on them at all. All right, well, just know as you're going throughout this winter solstice and each and every second of your day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, all your posse, and of course, I also love you too. So have an amazing winter solstice. I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon, but until then, you take care. All right, my Libra, if you chose reading number 2, which is the black bear, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these Surrender Oracle. And this is just going to be what the Creator wants you to know that is going to hibernation during the winter solstice. And of course, we'll dig in deeper as well, but this will be the start. So Creator, for our Libra black bears, what would you like them to know? Okay, there we go. So hibernation. Surrender your belief in scarcity. Sorry about the glare there. There we go. And it says, the universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So your beliefs in scarcity are going to be falling away during this winter solstice. So some great revelations, of course, will be unfolding regarding your worth on receiving and any of those blocks that you've had in the past are going to be kind of dissolved. And I have this picture in my head, and I know it's kind of a little graphic, but it's like a blood clot. And it's like you're being given blood thinners to have this scarcity just be whittled away more and more and faster and faster and faster for you. We're going to pull more cards, of course. So I'm going to pull a card here from this animal spirit and just see what else the Creator wants you to know about this hibernation and scarcity. Beliefs going away and abundance coming in. Belief in abundance. All right. I feel like this one here. Any others? I didn't. I kind of thought there might be one, but this is just the one right here. And you got the otter spirit. So beautiful, fun energy, Mr. Otter. And let's see, or Mrs. Otter, of course. So let's see what energy comes with the otter. Here we go. Yep. So unobstructed joy, playfulness, and contentment. It says perhaps the most joyful creature within the animal spirit deck, the otter represents absolute bliss. Otter energy is the playfulness of a child available to us at any age. They have a giddiness and a reverence for life itself without the presence of doubt, worry, or skepticism. Imagine yourself with a little more otter energy. What would life look like? What would it take to bring you there? The otter card begs these questions and wants to transport us to that precious place as soon as possible. The celebration awaits. Because when you're in balance with this energy, you're full of love and need nothing, right? You don't have a belief in scarcity because you just feel you have the need for nothing, right? But when you're out of balance with this energy, you feel gloomy, you sigh a lot, you make silly excuses. So to bring this energy into balance, it says have a dance party or a celebration. And I love that because it's like brings in this focusing on gratitude and thankfulness and celebrating what is in your life, because that that's the opposite of scarcity, is instead of believing and focusing on what you don't have, you're focusing and celebrating what you do, which whatever you focus on is what grows. Well, of course, dig in more here. I'm going to pull a card here, at least one from this Ancestor Tarot, and let's see what else the creator wants you to know. All right. So for our Libra black bears, what else would you like them to know? Okay, right there. And you have the 8 of Sacred Circles, which would be the 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles being your, coins, and your outside world. The 8 is really about fine-tuning, learning, and growing. It's like the apprentice that's been working for a master for a long time, producing and developing and mastering your skills. And now this is about you taking that next step and turning into that master of that craft, or whatever it is that you're learning and searching and wanting to grow. So definitely there's this beautiful kind of cohesion with this, because as you let go of scarcity and beliefs in scarcity and celebrate, it's like this gift, this thing that you're wanting to do that you were afraid of, like, well, if I do this and I pursue it, I'm going to fail at it and it's not going to bring me anything. It's going to, end up hurting me, make me go into the hole instead of being abundant around it. Well, this is about do that. You don't have to be super risky. We'll pull more cards here in a sec, but I kind of feel like it's like you don't have to, go all or nothing with it too. In the beginning, sometimes it's, you might have to continue to do your full-time job and then part-time do that other, invest energy in it. Don't be afraid at failing. Really understand that whatever you're expressing, whatever you're doing, is when you do it out of love and you're doing it out of your passion, it's going to be successful one way or another. You're going to feel wholeness and completeness because you're expressing that unconditional love inside of you that's just screaming to get out. It's like a song that's in your heart that is just dying to be sung, and so it wants the song to be sung. And so doing that, and it's just the joy of singing. You don't have to get paid for it, but you can express it. And you can tell that when someone is living their passion and sharing it, it's like that's the last thing on their mind usually is the finances of it, right? Or at least it's not one of the main things, because it's just sharing that piece of them brings them so much joy that sometimes is like all you think about is that wonderful feeling. It's like card reading for me. I offer these for free, and I give a lot of readings for free as well. And I love it because I kind of like this. I love feeling the energy, that unconditional love that flows through when I'm doing readings. And that for me is joy enough. And the Creator takes care of me. I'm like, that's all I care about, is that I'm sharing my passion with the world. And so that's kind of the feel with it. We are going to pull from these Tarot of Dreams, like live in the dream. And we're going to pull cards for each of the 3 months of the winter solstice, which would be 12/21 to 1/21, 1/21 to 2/21, and 2/21 to 3/21, which brings us up to the spring equinox. So we'll first of all pull here for our black bear Libras for 12/21 to 1/21, please. Okay, they want these 2, just the 2, or are there more? Okay, 2 more. And then what about 1/21 to 2/21? Okay, I like these 2. You get 4 for this one. Oh, 5 for this one. Okay. Very good. And then this one will be 221 to 321, please. Okay. And just the 2 for that. And I feel like this one is going to be like for an overall energy there. All right, let's dive in here for 1221 to 121. Yeah, you have the 2 of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your spiritual energy too. But I feel like this is you have 2 choices of what you're going to do with your energy. What you focus on grows, so you're either going to choose one thing or the other. So you can choose, am I going to focus on lack? That's going to grow. Am I going to focus on abundance? Then that's going to grow. And so I love this message. There's a variety of messages that come with the 2 of Wands, but I really feel that is the one that interacts with this here. We have such a powerful ability. And this also is about, because of this, you get this new spark, and then you start making plans. It's not like you take a ton of action on it yet, but you start making plans on how you will and want to. So it is about taking initiative and taking that next step of planning next steps. Beautiful. So Palace of Wands, and palaces are only exclusive to this deck here. Most tarot do not have them. And this is all about creating a place, a safe place to express your energy. And that's exactly what we were talking about here. So you have this fire, you have this passion and this drive to do something with it. And during this month, it's like, yes, create that space. Plan it, put it, like it said here, planning next steps, writing them all out. What is it that you want to do and all the steps you need to get there, and just take one step at a time. You don't have to take the journey of 5,000 steps all at once. The journey of 5,000 steps starts with one step, and then another step, and then another step. And if you take just a tiny little baby step each day, by the time you have a week, you have 7 baby steps. By the time a month, 30-ish baby steps. By a year, 365 baby steps, which will take you a lot faster, or take you a lot further than if you took no steps at all. And so this is about creating that place in your life to express your passion. Wow, 2 palaces. Excuse me, Palace of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your mentality, your attitudes, your expectations. And here's this big, huge Ace of Swords, which is the foundation of this palace. And that brings you capital T truths. And it allows you also to cut away those small t truths, those beliefs in scarcity that no longer serve you. They served you for a time. They allowed you to feel what it might feel like to not be worthy, of having this abundance in your life, of being able to express your passions. But it is showing you and bringing you this beautiful place here, this transformation of thoughts that's happening in this belief that, my dreams matter too, right? Yeah, here you go, Hermit. So definitely about seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective. This bright light here is you in this staff. And this isn't necessarily about, totally becoming a hermit in the mountain, but it is definitely about making sure you're taking time for you and for your inner journey, because in doing that, you do fully understand and see things more clearly on how you can make your dreams come true, how you can take those steps to accomplish those things, either relationship goals, job, or a career, like what you want to do with your life kind of goals, or body goals, financial goals, all that stuff. It's about looking within and finding this beliefs that no longer serve you, making space for your dreams, for your passions. And I know it is very difficult to do when it's not just you. If you have a spouse and children and other responsibilities, you're like, I can't live my dreams. All my energy is invested, in everyone else. So I can't do that. And that's okay. That's a limiting belief. That's a scarcity belief too. That we think that, this is that Palace of Swords, that this is how it has to happen, and I don't see it happening that way, but it's about expanding and thinking outside of that realm, because there's ways that, like, you can, like, if you have children that you're taking care of and you have a dream, you can, have them at the table coloring and saying, okay, this is what we're going to look at today. Mommy or daddy's going to, work on this piece of my dream, and I want you to draw, what is your dream? What would you like to do? And then they, it's going to be a little distracting, I know, but it at least creates that space to where you're allowing yourself to be creative for even just a few minutes. Like I said, baby steps. But you start bringing that in, and in showing, your children that your dream is important. They understand that their dream is important too, and you instill that in them as they get older. So just think outside the box. You don't have to, doesn't have to be this way. Allow the hows and the timing to be more fluid and flexible. But determine what your what is, right? All right. Then that brings you into 121 to February 21st. And you've got the Queen of Cups. So cups are your emotions, and the queens, this is water energy, and the queens also bring water energy. So you got double water energy. So very much the high priestess feeling in this, where you get to trust your intuition, you get to trust your gut, you get to look more, Libra, your air sign, so you're in your head a lot. This is about balancing and trusting your gut and your intuition too. Trust that divine feminine side of you, and allowing yourself to really dream a lot. And I love these colors are so much of the same, kind of the otter here. So it's this playful, dare to dream is what I'm hearing for this, okay? And then you've got the Page of Wands, so more beautiful new energy coming in for you, and messages of spirit, because this is your spiritual energy, and pages were messengers and communicators. With this Queen of Cups here especially too, this is about communicating with the other side, communicating with your loved ones on the other side, your guardian angels and your spirit guides and ancestors and spirit and the creator, all those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. Definitely they have messages and guidance for you. So definitely during this month, it's pay attention, because you're going to be getting synchronicities and answers coming from the outside like crazy. With these two together, it's just like whoosh, magnified. So definitely pay attention. And I love this playfulness here, because the frequency at which spirit speaks to us, what the other side speaks to us, is of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace. The outside world is chaos, it's noise. That's what makes it hard for us to hear them on the other side. But raising your vibration and focusing on gratitude, like we talked about, but also on unconditional love, joy, peace, and laughter, that allows you to hear more clearly these beautiful messages, and allows you to see them too. And then you have the Seven of Swords. So during this month, you're actually seeing what thoughts and beliefs that you have that are deceiving you, that have kept you limited, that have kept you feeling scarce. You already have, two swords here. So you're already letting thoughts and have identified thoughts that you're letting go. And during this month, you continue to identify more to release. And like we talked about with that Palace of Swords, that Ace of Swords allows you to cut away the limiting beliefs and these beliefs that no longer serve you. So you continue to do that during this month. And I love the moon here being reflected too, because the Queen of Cups, like I said, the High Priestess, she does connect to that moon energy, to the unknown, to the hidden, which allows you to make movement where you didn't see movement before. Yeah, oh my gosh. And then you have the Queen of Wands. So a lot of divine feminine energy here. And the Queen of Wands, she has this brilliant laser focus ability to focus your energy and get stuff done. She's also very vibrant. She walks into a room and she just lights it up because people just love her smile, her energy, her joy. It just is expansive and explosive when you walk into a room. In a regular tarot deck, the Page and the Knight and the King all have like a salamander. In this one, you do have like a lizard up here. And usually in those decks, the Queen does not have a lizard, and she actually has a black cat instead. The others have it because that, whenever you're acting upon your energy and taking risks, the lizard is what, I think it's a salamander, is what protects the others from risk. But the Queen, again, because the Queen brings in divine feminine energy, which is the water, the black cat represents like a familiar and connecting to your intuition and your gut. So, you have tons of intuition, hear tons of messages coming in, and this just reiterates it even more so. Trust your gut and the intuition and those messages that are coming, because they are really going to help guide you and allow you to see answers where you didn't see answers before, because you were so narrow in your thinking, you didn't even think about this stuff out here, but it's allowing you to expand and see that. Yep, and here's the Five of Cups. So definitely these are the cups of the dreams. You can see they're kind of broken. Yeah, I think they're broken. Oh yeah, this one is. So this one is smashed, and it's like dreams of the past that have been broken and you just don't have passion for them anymore. I also feel like it's the dreams that you gave up, because like I talked about in the beginning, where you felt, well, I have so many other things, so many other people's dreams that I have to help come true. I'm sacrificing mine. It's that disappointment, it's that grief and the grieving of letting it go of your dreams. But got the Two of Cups behind it here. So you got 3 cups below, which represent all the outside things that are supposed to fulfill you. All those dreams that were handed to you, saying this is your dream, and you're like, okay, but you have no passion around them. Well, these 2 cups coming in here is bringing huge passion and huge awareness around what is for you. I see these 2 of Cups as being, one cup is your human side, the other cup is your like the actor behind this character of this human, which is a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. And it brings and it pours that love down into you and allows you to connect. Again, there's so much spiritual energy being signified during this month that it is about you connecting to the higher realms, to the higher you, to understand what it is truly your passion is for life. How do you uniquely want to share that unconditional love and passion within you with the world? Not what you've been told in the past of your shoulds and supposed tos and need tos and have tos, but how do you really want to do that? Because it brings in this beautiful abundance. This 5 of the Five of Cups is very transformational. It allows you to see old ways of thinking and feeling. Cups are emotions, so it's mainly feeling, and transforming those into new ways of feeling about things. So I love that for you, which brings you into 221 to 321, and you've got the 4 of Coins. So coins are pentacles. This is about your outside world and your worth. Think of a 4 as being like a table. 4 strong legs make this foundation of this table very strong, and so you're really evolving this beautiful, solid belief in your worth, where you believed in scarcity before. This transformation is, I deserve abundance. I deserve to enjoy life in abundance in so many ways. They really understand they have enough where they get to fill up and, overflow out to the world. You don't have to give away all your sustenance. Again, your dreams are important as well. Well, yeah. And 3 of Coins. And this is beautiful. I really feel like that works well with this 8 of Sacred Circles, which is the 8 of Pentacles, coins. In one of my other decks, it really is it'll show someone like working on this beautiful craft, how you want to share your passion with the world. And they'll show someone standing behind them and someone standing in front of them. And the message that comes from all that is that, of course you have people who are naysayers and like, you're not going to be able to succeed at that and blah, blah, blah. The poking, at your dream, trying to burst your bubble because they're jealous or they're afraid. And those were obvious. We're like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to, move them from my inner circle to my outer circle because I want supportive people in my inner circle. So you understand that, and that's the most obvious and known, and we kind of a little distance between us and them. But it's the person standing in front of us in the example, the ones that are supporting us and the ones that are in our corner that can be of more influence and take us off of our authentic track of how we want to share things with the world. Because our ego, our human side of us, loves support, loves, to be needed and wanted and in people's good, standing and all that. And so when someone's telling us, we support you, we're so glad you're doing that, and more power to you, and da-da-da-da, and we're like eating all that up and going, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then they go, hey, have you ever thought of maybe just doing it a little bit this way? Because we don't want to lose them and have them go to the naysayer camp, we are more apt to adjust our authentic path into the direction that they're nudging us toward, because we're afraid to lose that. And so this is this beautiful message of, the outside influences, see them for what they are, and that, but really reiterate that this is about your creativity. 3 is all about creativity. It's about you be uniquely creative and try to be as authentic to yourself without the influence of what will other people think and, all that external stuff. What will that be? Be your authentic you. Create how you want to create authentically, okay? And then overall, the message they have for you, is the Chariot. And this is beautiful. This is the power of choice card for me. And again, like with the 2 of Wands here, where it was whatever you focus on grows, and you have so much stuff that's going to happen in your life, so many fated events that are going to unfold in your life. But the Chariot card for me tells us that regardless of what unfolds, we get to choose what story we apply to it, and we get to choose what emotion we're going to feel around it. And I know sometimes it's like, well, it doesn't feel like it's a choice because something happens and I feel this way, and I this is how, the story that I apply to it. Well, that's because it's become a habit of ours over time, right? When we're younger, we have this opinions and popular opinions from the outside that say, when that happens, this is what it means. When that happens, this is how you're supposed to feel. And it's reiterated and reinforced. We see it everywhere. We hear it everywhere. So we go, okay, when someone cheats on me, I'm supposed to be devastated and I'm supposed to be angry, and this means that I'm not worthy. And that's what we see in movies and we hear and we see in people's lives, and everyone's choosing that popular opinion, so we think it's ours. And so, but if we took a deep breath, paused, we could see when we make that choice. We can also see how we can make a different choice around something and go, you know what? I know the opinion of, like being cheated on is that it means something about me, but I think this is telling me how they feel about them and that they're unhappy, and that I'm not going to be able to make them happy because they're unhappy on the inside. And then I can look at it and go, okay, this doesn't mean something about me, but it is being a mirror for me, showing me how I feel about myself. And so I'm going to look into that because I control that. And so it's all this, beautiful transformation on how you're seeing something, how you're perceiving something, right? So it's whatever you focus on, whatever your choices are, just know that you are the one that's making the choice. And I know at first that sucks. What? You mean I've chose all that story and all those emotions that I didn't like feeling? I chose that? I'm like, yeah, but just try to take a deep breath and move past that and realize the empowerment that gives you, that it also means that you can look back and change the story and emotions you feel about anything from the past and the present, and the future as well. So I love it. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the bird messages. And just see what the final message that the Creator has for this winter solstice for you. Just one more time. All right. What's your final message? Okay, looks like you get 2 birdie cards. The first one is the Resplendent Quetzal. I think I pronounced that right. Maybe not, but you can see that and pronounce it how you want. And it says, uncover the deity within. So I love that, because that's about connecting to your higher realm, connecting and understanding who you really are. And that just by being you, you are worthy of the unconditional love and the abundance from the Creator. You know, all of our abundance comes from the Creator, who has unlimited resources. Everyone else in the human world is just the shipping company that brings it to us. They're the middleman. They're not our source. So just know that when you connect to the deity within you, that you know that you, how could you ever be scarce, right? And then you have Hotsun as well. I probably also murdered that pronunciation here, but I'll let you see that. And that says, flourish through maintaining tradition. And what I feel with that is it's flourish by creating a new tradition, a new way of thinking. In fact, I want to look up this one in the book just to see what message comes from little Hotsun here, if that's how you say it. So it says, for 36 million years and more, mysterious Hotsun has flown above the earth. Unique in birdom, she dwells among lush mangrove trees, dining on their leaves, digesting them as cows do, and builds her nest high above their swampy base. As Hotsun's inquisitive chicks grow, like little chicks, they venture onto mangrove's welcoming branches, but when startled, they tumble into the water below. Certain death? Not for Hotsun's fledglings. Not only can they swim, but like Earth's first bird, ancient wing, it's like Archaeopteryx. It's ARCHAEOPTERYX. So good luck on pronouncing that. I am not going to be able to. It says they also possess claws on their wing fingers, claws that enable them to cling securely to branches and clamber back up to their nest. So, you know, definitely, no matter what happens, you know, if they tumble off of something, they can scurry back up. So, you know, again, the story that we apply to failure or falling, you know, falling, we are like, that's failure. No, that's just strengthening, showing your gifts. And then it says, if Venerable Hotsun has arrived in your cards, she counsels that cutting edge may indeed cut. That ancient traditions and means of working can not only create ways of life and objects that endure, but also endow great happiness and satisfaction. Consider the valuable lessons of times past and flourish. So I kind of feel like when you're looking at all this, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. But as you're changing your way of looking at things, see those things that worked and see if they'll work again. And if those things didn't work, also don't be afraid to take a risk, because if you fall off into the water, you will climb back up and you will continue to make steps toward it. When you're living your passion, you're not afraid to, you know, quote, fail, because you never fail. You just found a way not to do it, and you're going to find a different way to do it. But you live in your passion, you never feel like you're failing, okay? So I am loving this message for you here. Yeah, they don't have anything else to add, so I'm going to leave that here. I want to let you know that in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly updates for each of the energies of the elements like fire signs, water signs. I do new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of other different readings throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss those and get notified as soon as they come out, if you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below, and that's going to make this notification bell pop up. And if you click on that, then you can set your settings for these videos to get notified immediately when they come out, so you won't miss a thing. All right, well, know as you go throughout each and every single day of your life that you are indeed unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing winter solstice, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care. All right, all my Libras, if you chose reading number 3, which is the polar bear, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from this Surrender Oracle. And this is just going to be what the Creator wants you to know that's going into hibernation during the winter solstice, so during those 3 months. And of course, we'll dig in deeper as well, but we're going to start off with this card. So for our polar bear Libras, okay, I feel like this is the one, actually, and then this one. Oh, you get 3. Okay. Let's see what this is all about. So you got surrender, resentments. So letting go. Let's see what that says real quick here. So this is holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. So resentments are going into hibernation. And then you have surrender to complete healing. So I love that too. Beautiful picture. And that's open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. So I feel like that has, of course, to do with the resentments, because the resentments, that poison that you're drinking is what's poisoning all those things, all of your physical body, your emotional body, and your spiritual body. And you have surrender to non-action. And that says, now is the time to be still and not act. Simply breathe and focus on your own power. Let others come to you. So I love this, that all these 3 came out together, because they are beautifully interacting with each other. So again, surrendering your resentments. It's like you don't have to do anything about going to others for the forgiveness. The forgiveness process that this is talking about for your complete healing has to do with you and your forgiveness on the inside. You don't have to go to other people and go, I want to make this right, and I want to do this, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 at least during this winter solstice, because this is let people come to you. It's not about you taking external action. It's all about the internal action. You know, you've got this little unicorn antenna, so this is all about zeroing in inside you, eyes closed, allowing yourself to hibernate during these 3 months to work on your inner forgiveness, your inner release of the wrath for other people's actions towards you. So we're of course going to dig in more here. I know that's like, no, I don't want to forget what they did, and you won't. We are huge beings of memory. We come here to experience it all, and we're not going to forget all that. You know, it's just about moving the things that happened out of our energy field, putting them in a photo album. We'll remember them, because we're not going to let them do that to us again. But it's about moving it out and not investing so much energy into it. Because it talked about the poisons, and that's like, you know, holding unforgiveness towards someone, holding resentments, holding, you know, all those passionate shadow emotions towards someone is like taking poison ourselves and going, see, now look what's gonna happen to you. And you're like, why am I feeling sick? Well, it's because that resentment is poisoning us. It doesn't poison them. So the forgiveness is for you. It's not to release other people. It's to release you and release that energy that you're using to hold on to those. Okay, we're gonna dig in more here, and we'll see what else the Creator wants us to know. This is the Animal Spirit deck, so we'll see what Animal Spirit has a message for you around this hibernation. But this is going to be worth it. I know you're like, oh crap, but you know, all this angsty, dark, poisonous, emotional energy that you're holding, it takes so much more to that than to process and let it go, and it's totally worth it for the end of it, because you'll get all that energy back, and you'll feel so much freer than you have ever, felt before. Yep, and you got the owl. Beautiful owl here. So we'll put that right here. And let's see what Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. Owl has for you here. Apologize, they're not in alphabetical order, so let me just find them here. I probably went flying right by it. Probably going to be the last one. Oh, helps if I look in the right section. My apologies. Okay, here we go. So the owl is about abundance, clairvoyance, and treasures. So the owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from the east to the west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi. It's Lakshmi. I apologize if I mispronounced that. And she represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. So when the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. And like boon, is like treasures, is another name for treasures. And your dharma is like your sole purpose, how you wanted to share your unconditional love with the world. And when you're in balance with this energy, you're generous, you're trusting, you're secure. But when you're out of balance with this energy, then you have quarrels around worth and scarcity. So to bring this into balance, you make an offering. And I really feel like this offering that you're giving is this offering to yourself, that you're offering like this branch of peace to yourself, to allow yourself to have this beautiful awareness and this beautiful peace of mind in your life. We're going to dig more in here too. And this is the Ancestor Tarot. Let's see what else the Creator wants you to know here. But, definitely this wisdom, this digging into the unknown is a beautiful thing for the owl here. And it's really this beautiful diving into the seeing beyond what you thought you saw before. And, when you become solid in your worth, when you visit this and come in with more power, because you are more powerful now than you were when those things happened. When you go back and look at them, you're going to be able to see things from a different perspective. Let's see what else here, though, for our polar bear, Libras. That's way too many. So that was my bad. My sticky fingers or slippery fingers here. Okay, well, you do get two here, though. And you've got the sun. So beautiful. This is about being vulnerable in the sun. It's a very victorious card. It's bringing everything into the light. So definitely, like I said, it's totally worth it for you to do this, because this is how you feel afterwards. Though the owl is a nocturnal creature and it's nighttime, it's like you're coming and bringing things out into the light, into the warmth of the sun. Yeah, and you have the Seven of Cups. So this is about revisiting your emotions and choosing what you are going to feel. This card can represent confusion and stuff sometimes, but I really feel for your reading, it's like all these emotions are different ways that you can feel about a situation and how you felt about different things in the past. But this is this empowering card telling you that you get to choose how you felt about all those situations. And we'll get more into that, I'm sure, as we dig deeper in here. with these tarot of dreams, because with this, we're actually going to take a look at each of the individual 3 months of the winter solstice. You've got December 21st to January 21st, and then 121 to 221, 221 to 321, which brings you into spring, right up to the spring equinox. So, one more time here. All right. So, creator for 1221 to 121. Okay. Okay. You've got a ton going on here in that first month, which makes sense. And then we've got 121 to 221. Okay, they want that one there. Okay, and they want these for here. That one and that one. This one is like for the entire period here, but you just have one for that, which makes sense. You can do so much the month before. So let's dig in here and see what is going on this December 21st to January 21st. So first you have the Knight of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles and other decks. And this is about movement. So there is movement, but this is the outside world. And this is just a message for you that as you do this inner work, just know that, you know, your thoughts and your feelings and your drive, you know, the other 3 suits are faster acting because that's all happening within you, and those things move faster. But it takes time. You change from the inside out. So know that your inner work is going to be moving rapidly, but the external stuff takes time. There's seasons. I mean, this is winter solstice, so we're talking about seasons. There's 3 months for winter, 3 months for spring, 3 months for summer, 3 months for fall, you know, so this is just letting you know, just be patient with the things as it unfolds. You know, it didn't take you a day to get to this place. It's not going to take you a day to, you know, transform these and release things. Just give yourself the patience and be gentle with yourself. Yeah, because here's the 5 of Wands. 5s are about transformation and about changing of your energy, because the Wands are about your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your spark, and your spiritual energy. So this is a change of energy, things like where you saw battles and stuff going on before. What this card represents for me, I do see like a kung fu battle that starts off, this little movie starts to play in my head, where you realize that what you saw, you know, kind of like I mentioned, like with these 7 of Cups, what you thought you saw and the energy was there, you start to see it in a different way. So in the beginning, you see these 5 individuals fighting with their staves and they're beating each other, and finally one wins and is left standing, the other 4 are laying down. And you're like, oh, finally the battle's over. And then they all start laughing. They all help each other up, and they all, you know, buddy, you know, arms around each other's shoulders, going, and they go to the meal hall to eat, and you discover it's this, you know, Zen Buddhist monastery where they were not battling each other to hurt one another. They were actually in an exercise in training to help them improve their skills. And so this beautiful transformation happens where you thought it was this conflict and anxiety and battle, and it's like, oh, they were friends helping each other because they care about each other. And so you're going to really understand this transformation of the past events and the past things that you felt. It starts to happen during this month. Yeah, because here's the 7 of Coins, and I'm so sorry, because this is all about fruit and things are growing. The basket is empty because she's still waiting for the harvest. You're doing the work, another patience card. So really, really emphasizing, be patient with yourself. You know, you don't have to do it all in a day. Just take your time, do what feels right for you in the moment. You know, you don't have to go back and, you know, like I said, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of emotions and going, I'm going to do it all right now. Take your time, allow it to come to you. It's kind of like this non-action. Something that they brought back to my mind is when I was working through my trauma that I perceived throughout my life, I would just get quiet and get still and allow the next thing to come up to me to look at. I wouldn't go searching. I would allow it to be brought to me. And I kind of feel with this surrender to non-action, that's what they're wanting you to do as well. Yeah, you've got the Seven of Cups, the Seven of Coins, and now the Seven of Wands. So this really is about empowerment, because the Seven of Wands lets you know that you don't have to defend your position. You don't have to defend yourself. You have the upper hand. You have the light within. And so all this that you may feel like is attacking you, you don't have to engage with it. You can just sit back and allow your life to unfold. Spend time, really with yourself. And that's an important piece here, is don't worry about all these others here. Surround yourself. One of the decks that I love shows someone sitting in this bubble, and this is the bubble of love and this bubble of brightness, like sit in this big ball of light, and people are trying to poke and burst it, but they can't, because you're in this bubble. And so I really feel during this month, it is important for you to take that time to yourself and take that time just to bubble yourself away, and don't let other people's actions and energies influence you. You got your own internal healing, this complete healing. You're taking this time for you. So, like they showed me, you don't do surgery on yourself in the middle of a mall with everyone running around. You take yourself into a place that's secure, to where you can feel vulnerable and open up without feeling you're going to get infected by other things. So it's like one of those clean surgical units. It's like they're showing me that's what they want you to do there. And you have the King of Coins, so King of Pentacles, beautiful energy coming in. This is about really understanding your worth, understanding who you are. One of the big things, the King brings in air energy in addition to this earth energy. So very grounded, but also awareness, knowledge, and wisdom. One of the big pieces of wisdom that the King of Coins realizes is that when you define yourself by the outside world, that's what's called retail price, because it's what you're worth to someone else. And that fluctuates because people's emotions change, people's lives are changing, and so their opinion of you changes. It's like you're this wonderful, warm parka coat, and if you're in northern Alaska during the winter, they think you are priceless and everyone wants you, right? But if you're that same coat in southern Texas during the summer, you're on the 90% off clearance rack of the blue light special, right? So when you define yourself by the external world, that's retail. That's unstable and always changing. But when you find your worth from the inside, that is self-worth, because yourself is determining it, not retail price on the outside. So this beautiful message about looking to yourself within for your worth, not those other people's actions, right? All right, so there you go. So, relationships, emotional choices is a huge thing, a huge energy that comes with this. So definitely you're making these emotional choices because of the Seven of Cups. But there's also this wonderfulness that comes with this, because the Lovers also represents the first time, like when we're passionate about something in our life, usually our early teenage years. We have all these roles and all this supposed to's and shoulds and need to's and have to's that are fed to us as children, all the way up until we become those rebellious teenagers. And we become rebellious teenagers when we're passionate about something so much that we're willing to break the rules. We're willing to go against it, whether it's sneaking out to go, or breaking your curfew to spend time with someone you care about and that you have a crush on, or that you're passionate about. Or it could be that you're passionate about a musical group or a movie you want to see, but your parents or people in authority over you are going, no, you absolutely cannot go see that. And then you're like, okay, well, can I at least go out with my friends and we're just going to hang out then? And they're like, okay. And then you sneak off with your friend to go see the movie or the band or whatever. That's the passion that we have, where we're ready to go against those supposed to's and those shoulds and those need to's, those popular opinions of how things should be, how we're supposed to feel, and you're going to choose new ways to feel about things. So I do love that for you. Yay, and you have the star card, which is beautiful. This is about hope, and this is that unconditional love. This is the Aquarian card. So they're the water bearers. They're the ones that bring the living waters to us, and they show us what we're truly thirsty for, which is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things. And we fill up and it pours out. Usually it'll show like pouring out into the land and pouring out into the water, which means that it's flooding out into every area of your life. The land is like your brain and your outside world, and the water, when it's flowing into it, represents your emotions and your spiritual side too. So you're learning throughout this process to fill up from the inside and allowing that unconditional love to be your foundation and what you're basing your worth on. The star is you. This bright, beautiful star is you, the true you, a lot like the sun. You have this huge brightness within, because you are ultimately a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. This human character you're playing down here is a very small piece of who you are. That's the character, but the actor behind the character is huge and enormous. So you are a superstar. All right. So a lot going on your first, December 21st to January 21st. Possibly the holidays are making a lot of this spark for you, bringing it to your face, but you're dealing with it, and you're dealing with it beautifully, which brings you into 121 to 221, which is faith, which this is about trust. This is also about understanding your higher spiritualness, and really connecting to this wisdom, which is right there. Let me just move these over a little bit. When I talked about the lovers, before the lovers, which is card number 6, you have the Hierophant, which is card number 5 normally, and 4 is the Emperor, and they have a loving side and a shadow side to them. The loving side of an Emperor and a Hierophant's like a spiritual leader. They, out of love, want to do what's best for the group, and they are bringing all this beautiful love energy together and creating not so much rules, but ways that people can interact together, where everyone is feeling supported and everyone is rewarded and grows and is successful and abundant. So that is the loving side, when we're connected to our inner light, right? But when we're in our shadow side, which is the human side, which is based on fight or flight, when we're feeling out of control, we try to control everything. So emperors become dictators, and spiritual leaders become religious leaders that are creating rules to maintain power, to gain more power, and to take power away from other people because they feel unsafe, and that's how they're trying to control it. So I love this, is that there's this transformation inside of you from feeling all these feelings of dictators and controllers and all these people that try to do, force you to do things and said things, and out of fear they were acting out. And when you realize that, that's what transforms these memories, that allows you to see these emotions from a different place. Because when you look back and you see, okay, that person said that horrible thing to me, or they did that horrible thing to me, we realize that if we can step out of that into our light and go, okay, that person was in fear. And when we're in fear, we literally act out of our minds. And when we act out of our minds, we do stupid things. It's the way it works. Then you look at the world right now and you're like, a lot of people in fear and a lot of people doing stupid things, saying stupid things. And it's like, okay, they're doing unloving things, right? When we realized that, we realized it hardly had anything to do with us at all, if at all, because it was all going on inside them, and we just happened to get hit with the stuff that was coming out of them at the time. We just happened to be near enough to them where we were impacted by this explosion of fear that happened. So this beautiful, trust comes in, understanding that life happens for us, life doesn't happen to us. And when we go back and revisit things, we can understand, what was I wanting to see about myself? A lot of, like, when I look back at, I had 5 longish term relationships, anywhere from a year to 3 years. I know for some people that's not long term. For me, that was long term. A year was a long time. 3 years was a long time. But when I look back at those relationships, I realized that they were only treating me how I was feeling about myself. Because how could someone love me more than I loved myself? They couldn't. So they could only love me to the extent that I was loving myself. And when I look back and realize that, it totally transformed them from being villains in my life to being my teachers, who were continually showing me what I wanted to see about myself until I saw it. So a beautiful transformation happens. And that brings you into February 21st to March 21st. Yep, you got the devil, which, don't freak out about this one, because this is our shadow, and this is our cage that we have ourselves in. And the shadow brings us all those ways in which we are caging ourselves, how we're making ourselves feel small and limited. And it doesn't do it in subtle way. It's like very in our face. So during this time, with all this work you've been doing, you're realizing and you're setting yourself free, because they are showing you, your shadows are bringing to you all this stuff. And you're going, oh, wow, I see it now. It's so obvious. There's these things, like I was saying, I look back in all 5 relationships with some sort of disrespect in some way to me, is the way I perceived it. And I go, oh, because I was disrespecting myself the whole time. How could I not be disrespected by others? Because that's everything I was, having for myself. And that's kind of the stuff that will come to you, which will allow you to release yourself from this cage, right? Yep, 3 of Cups. So celebration, definitely, this movement on, and it's like this a freedom parade that you're having for yourself, because you've been set free, and this just brings this new emotion. Cups as the emotions, just very happy, joyful emotions come because of it. So like this bright light, you're like, woohoo! Yep, and you've got the 8 of Swords. So actually, I'm going to put these like this, because the 8 of Swords, again, swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And these are all those things that have been keeping you caged. I mean, literally, usually the 8 of Swords will show someone who has all these swords around them that's keeping them caged, blinded and bound. So all this stuff that's been keeping you trapped. You are having such a beautiful awareness of it, and you're releasing those old ways of thinking. You're leaving them and ready to move beyond them and leave them behind. Yeah, and then you have Ace of Coins. And this is like a gift from the universe. New opportunities, new ways of doing things come to you in your outside world. So where all these were, be patient, it'll eventually get to the outside world. Yes, I feel like right before spring, it's time for planting new seeds, and new opportunities come to you because of all this work that you've done throughout this period of time. Yeah. An overall Knight of Swords. So for this whole period of time, this is all about taking action on your thoughts and your beliefs and your attitudes. He carries the Ace of Swords here, which is what brings capital T truths to you, and lets the small t truths of the ego and this old beliefs fall away. The Knight is about movement. So you definitely see this movement and these changes that are happening throughout these 3 months. You are by no means, Libra, you're air signs, and so Swords is air. So this is your nothing to be afraid of. It's where you live and breathe in your mind. So doing this work is actually enjoyable for you. I know I'm an Aquarius sun, so I understand. I love looking at my beliefs and my thoughts, and we can get caught up so much in our head, but this is a beautiful, because this is movement of things in your head. Your thoughts and your beliefs and your attitudes go through a beautiful transformation during this 3-month period. And then lastly, we're going to pull one final card here from this chakra reading cards, and just see what the final message the Creator has for you for this winter solstice. All right, Creator, so for our polar bear Libras, what's your final message for them for this winter solstice, please? Okay, so right here. Pardon me, and you've got, the 30, the I am presence, and I love this. This card has come out quite a bit in a lot of these winter solstice readings, which is beautiful because the I am presence is our crown chakra, and it is connecting to this higher being that you are. And it says this card has come to you for this period of time as an indication that you are connecting to your I am presence at a deeper level. Just like each of us has angels and spirit guides that walk with us in the higher realms, we also have an aspect of ourselves that resonates in this higher state of consciousness. The I am presence is the all-loving, all-knowing, all-wise aspect of yourself that holds profound guidance and wisdom at all times, right? The wisdom of the owl. It resonates pure love and healing energy, right? Healing. And is the angelic and divine aspect of our soul. Your I am presence pours its love and wisdom upon you, and you're being asked to open and receive its divine light. Your I am presence is calling for you to connect deeply with this divine aspect of yourself. If you've been feeling lost and lack direction, your I am presence holds the answers to your questions and is offering you divine guidance loud and clear. This aspect of yourself is the best guide for you right now. It's time to allow and trust, right? Faith, trust yourself at this deeper level. You're being guided to take some time to strengthen and deepen this connection by meditating, writing, and doing those things that allow you to feel the higher vibration of your soul. There's an abundance of positive energy flowing to you as you walk closer with your I am presence, as it creates a deeper feeling of fulfillment and well-being in your life. It's time to listen and take note of the wisdom that's pouring into your soul at this time. This card may also indicate that you've been working on deepening the divine connection, and that your life is starting to resonate more positivity. Your I am presence is celebrating, this 3 cups, celebrating your hard work and commitment to your higher state of being. Keep up the great work. An affirmation for this card is, my I am presence shines brightly through me for all to see. So you are going to be going through this beautiful transformation during this time, where as this, complete healing happens of your physical body, your spiritual body, your emotional body, whichever way this reflects itself during this time, that people are going to see from here when you start to here in spring when it happens, people are going to be like, oh my God, you're glowing. What has changed? You are different. And it is because you feel free. You're out of your cage. And this energy that you're investing in maintaining this old stuff, you have it within yourself to where it's just you're exploding with compassion and love for yourself and for others too. So I am loving this for you. I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates for like your fire signs, your water signs, all the elements. Also like new moon, full moon readings, a variety of different readings. So if you want to get notified as soon as those come out so you don't miss those. If you haven't done so already, just click the subscribe button down below. And when you do that, this notification bell will pop up. And when you click on that, you'll go to your settings and you can just set it to where you're notified immediately as soon as the videos become available. And then you don't miss a thing. All right, well, just know that as you live each and every second of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Mother and Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you too. You have an amazing winter solstice, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.